10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
From Fox 5, this is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. There was some horrifying testimony in a courtroom in Manhattan. The words of a woman who had been a patient of Dr. Abu Hayat, words that drove home his nickname, the Butcher of Avenue A. Lynn Brown reports.
Oía grito, alguien que decía que no le matara a su niño.
I heard screaming, someone saying not to kill the baby.
22-year-old Rosa Rodriguez took the stand to tell her horrific story of attempted abortion, agony, and pain.
Estaba asustada.
I was frightened.
Y le pregunté al doctor.
And I asked the doctor.
¿Por qué alguien gritaba si él me dijo que
why was someone screaming?
Si él me dijo a mí que era sin dolor.
If I was told that it was without any pain.
What did the doctor say?
¿Qué dijo el médico?
No todo el mundo quiere una anestesia.
Not everyone wants anesthesia.
O no todo el mundo puede pagar por una anestesia.
Or not everyone can pay for the anesthesia.
Rodriguez did not have anesthesia last October when Dr. Abu Hayat allegedly botched the abortion of her 8-month-old baby. The child's arm was torn off in the process, but the child survived.
Me dijo que tenía una infección.
He told me I had an infection.
Y que el embarazo no estaba bien.
And that the pregnancy was not right.
Y que yo tenía entre 3 o 4 meses de embarazo.
And that I was between 3 and 4 months pregnant.
After the initial visit, according to Rodriguez, Hayat sent her home, bleeding, in pain, and still pregnant, and told her not to tell anyone and not to go to the hospital. She was to return the next day to Avenue A, number 9, to the man dubbed the Butcher of Avenue A. But pain drove her to call the doctor's office several times.
Yo siento contracciones cada 3 minutos.
And I'm feeling contractions every 3 minutes.
Yo sé que yo no puedo aguantar más tiempo.
I know that I can't hold on anymore.
Hayat sat in silence in the courtroom alongside his attorney as Rodriguez identified the 62-year-old man with a host of charges pending against him. A somewhat dramatic moment in the testimony came when the bloodied blouse Rodriguez wore during the abortion was entered into evidence. The picture painted in this courtroom was not a pretty one. To this reporter, it was rather grisly and gruesome. The doctor's attorney again declined to talk with the media today, and they were very cunning in avoiding us. As for Rosa Rodriguez, she returns to court tomorrow, 10 a.m., to continue with her testimony. Reporting from 111 Center Street, I'm Lynn Brown, Fox News.
Some 20 people in East Harlem were forced out of their homes tonight by a devastating fire. It broke out on the top floor of a 5-story apartment building on East 116th Street. It went to 3 alarms before it finally was brought under control. No word yet on how it began, but fire officials say it did spread quickly.
We had a problem getting at the fire because of a double roof. Very tough getting at the roof boards, and it traveled from rear to front in the cock loft. There's a lot of damage to the top floor apartments.
The Red Cross has found temporary housing for all those folks left homeless. Fortunately, no injuries. The fire is under investigation.
Well, the police are working hard to try to piece together what happened Monday night when Sandra Matthews was murdered on Long Island. Friends and family were at a wake for her tonight. Detectives say that she left college and stopped off at a 7-Eleven in Bayshore. That's where she worked part-time. But she didn't tell anybody there where she was going. 2 hours later, she was found dead in her car in North Babylon. The police are convinced this was no random attack. She was definitely the target. And 2 police officers in New Jersey are in big trouble. Internal Affairs set up a sting operation, and they're accused of taking the bait. Eric Sean reports.
The North Bergen, New Jersey police shield proclaims liberty and prosperity. You could now add embarrassment. For 2 of the town's officers who are sworn to uphold the law are accused of breaking it. 29-year-old Vincent Sorge, the PBA union president, and fellow officer 31-year-old Tom Rowan have been arrested for allegedly beating and robbing a sleeping motorist at this Kmart shopping center. But what they did not know was their alleged victim was really an undercover New Jersey state police officer. Prosecutors say the pair was nailed in a state sting aimed at catching them.
Does it make you angry as a law enforcement official?
I feel insulted and hurt by it. It's unfortunate. I feel more sorry for those police officers who are completely honest and have to be subjected to to unwarranted criticism and taint due to the actions of these two alleged criminals.
The accused cops face armed robbery and theft charges for allegedly stealing $625 from the decoy. But no one is saying if they may have also attacked citizens.
I was pleased to learn right away that it was our police department, our chief and our internal affairs unit that initiated the investigation.
The lawyer for Officer Roland says both pled not guilty.
Isn't it a pretty despicable, low thing to be a police officer and steal from somebody?
Well, you're accepting the prosecutor's case as fact by that question. Yeah, if that's the case, but, you know, things aren't as they seem in this case.
The two cops have been suspended without pay, and their fate now rests with the Hudson County grand jury. But if what is alleged to have happened here is true, it means they not only betrayed their sacred oath, but also abused the privilege of protecting the public as police officers. I'm Eric Shawn, Fox News, at the Kmart in North Bergen, New Jersey.
The mayor and some Jewish leaders renewed their war of words over Crown Heights and who is responsible for the 1991 riots. The mayor says he is owed an apology, but others say no way. George Smith reports.
According to a published report, neither Mayor Dinkins nor any of his top aides ordered police to hold back during the 1991 riots in Crown Heights. The state panel is investigating the entire Crown Heights affair. Their investigation isn't finished yet, but this preliminary information appears to be good news for the mayor. Jewish leaders have accused Mayor Dinkins of holding police back while the riots escalated.
They ought to first start with apologies, because it was quite an accusation to charge that I had given that kind of direction when I had not. Nor had Milt Marlin, nor Norm Steisel, nor Bill Lynch, or anybody else in City Hall. And to make those reckless charges at a time when the city is in a tinderbox to start with, as was the case around then, is totally irresponsible.
The official state report on the Crown Heights riots isn't expected to be released for several more weeks. And some Jewish leaders say reports that the mayor is off the hook are premature.
The mayor was involved from the inception of this program, Race Riot, okay? And any claim of innocence is chutzpah.
According to the report, the panel will likely find that top police officials simply underestimated the extent of the violence that rocked Crown Heights. I'm George Smith, Fox News.
The controversy over the St. Patrick's Day parade is not over. Now some people want two parades to keep everybody happy. Dave Monsees is in Midtown right now, where the details are being hammered out. Dave?
Well, Cora, throughout this battle of Fifth Avenue, the Ancient Order of Hibernians has consistently said that if they can't have their St. Patrick's Day parade on Fifth Avenue, they won't have it anywhere at all. Well, tonight, here at the Roosevelt Hotel, though, they did hear a new offer to move the parade south to another famous parade route. If it worked for the heroes of the Gulf War and everyone from Lindbergh to the Apollo astronauts, why not for the Hibernian St. Patrick's Day Parade? Lower Broadway's Canyon of Heroes is being offered up by a Lower Manhattan Civic Association in case the Hibernians lose their court battle to march up Fifth Avenue without any gays or lesbians officially in the parade. At a meeting of the Hibernians Parade Committee, Art Piccolo of the Bowling Green Association made his case, but knew going in there wasn't much hope that the Hibernians would give Lower Broadway the nod.
I'm hoping I'm convincing enough that they will decide that for this year they want to come to Lower Broadway, let the mayor do whatever he has in mind up on Fifth Avenue, and let's have two parades and let the better parade win, so to speak.
The Hibernians want it just the way it always was, up Fifth Avenue, but for now the parade permit approved by Mayor Dinkins goes to another group, the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee, that will allow gays and lesbians officially to march. But even with the Hibernians already in court to get back their permit, they only listened politely to Piccolo and his plan.
We have a very, very strong legal position on a constitutional issue on that, and that we will be successful in getting favorable decisions from the courts, and hopefully in time that we'll be able to put on the usual parade on Fifth Avenue where all of us can enjoy it.
Now, there was another offer, yet another offer today from Staten Island. From Staten Island Borough President Guy Molinari, in fact, but the response from the Hibernians, in essence, was, again, thanks, but no thanks. As to that lower Broadway offer, though, the Hibernians do say a little sarcastically that they would possibly entertain a lower Broadway ticker tape parade, and this is a quote, only if the ticker tape were made up of old shredded Dinkins campaign posters. I'm Dave Monsies, live in Midtown. Back to John Corian.
All right, thanks, Dave. That problem we had was with our equipment here on this end, by the way. Your television set's fine. Still ahead on the 10 o'clock news, how the new president is doing in the polls.
Could it be that Senator Alphonse D'Amato has set his sights on a new job? Why some city public school children are running for the border.
Rosie Perez told Robin about her new movie and about keeping her clothes on.
You know, Lottie says that he has 8 parts in him or something like that.
This Saturday, January 30th, it's the one and only one-day sale at Nobody Beats the Whiz. Absolutely every item in every Nobody Beats the Whiz store is marked down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Every TV, VCR, camcorder, and audio component. Every cassette, compact disc, personal computer, cellular phone, and camera. Everything. And here's the Nobody Beats the Whiz challenge. If it's not on sale Saturday, it's yours free. This Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., our one and only one-day sale. Nobody beats the Whiz.
Fried green tomatoes.
Do I detect a dash of grenadine?
Moonstruck. Steel magnolias.
Yes!
And now the movie that's surprising and delighting audiences all over America.
Oh, Class, my sister. She brought a date to her own father's funeral.
And what's the worst that'll happen?
What?
Somebody might have a good time.
This is so weird.
Used People. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
This portion of the news brought to you by Mitsubishi. The word is getting around. And by Chemical Bank, Visa, and MasterCard.
If you've always been content just to observe an eclipse, right now, you have a choice of 2 offers guaranteed to get you moving. Lease a 1993 Mitsubishi Eclipse for as little as $169 a month. Or buy one and get $1,000 cash back. But move quickly before these eclipse opportunities pass you by.
Finding a credit card you can expect more from is a simple process of elimination. First, blow up all the cards with the highest rates. Then the ones that don't offer fixed or variable rate options, worldwide acceptance, and 24-hour customer service. And what about price assurance? Satisfaction guaranteed, purchase protection, and extended warranties at no extra charge. So, what's left? Chemical Bank Visa. If you have one, use it. If not, call 1-800-245-0880 to apply.
How'd you like to see a Cuomo-D'Amato showdown in the next election for governor? It sure would be interesting. A lot of people would like to see the senator run. Christopher Jones reports.
When Alphonse D'Amato won re-election to the United States Senate, he surprised a lot of the political experts. And now he has shown he still has a few surprises left. The conservative Republican has endorsed President Clinton's controversial plan to end the current ban on homosexuals in the U.S. military. That has led some to suggest the senator has decided to broaden his political base and run for governor against Mario Cuomo. But when interviewed on Fox's Good Day New York by Jim Ryan, D'Amato denied it.
Let me say this very clearly. I'm not running for governor. I'm not planning to run for governor. Now, it's not my fault that the governor himself says, oh, I can't wait to take him on and I want to. He's shadow boxing. That's unfortunate. But the point of the matter is I've just been elected senator.
True, but sources tell Fox News that victory has just whetted his appetite. Whatever D'Amato's motivation to endorse gays in the military, some of his conservative supporters feel betrayed.
I just think it's a mistake. Maybe he's trying to be politically correct. Being politically correct doesn't necessarily make you right.
Maybe he's trying to run for governor.
Well, if he's trying to run for governor, I think he's made a mistake. I think he's made a political misjudgment, and if he proceeds to promote this agenda, I think it would erode away the base support that he has always been able to count on.
And yet, some of the political gurus are saying the conservatives are going to stay with him through hell or high water, doesn't matter.
Well, we're not about to jump ship on Senator D'Amato.
And many political analysts say the senator is definitely steering that ship toward Albany.
The stand he's taken on gays in the military suggests he's trying to broaden his constituency
in anticipation of, I think, a possible run for governor.
While Senator Alphonse D'Amato insists his endorsement of the Clinton policy on gays in the military is not political, many of those who know him best simply say it isn't so. They say he is looking toward becoming governor of the state of New York, and this will not lose him the conservative endorsement and may just pick him up some, you guessed it, liberal votes. Christopher Jones, Fox News.
Well, nevertheless, late this evening, the senator told us, insisted really, that he will not run for governor. And to the conservatives upset with his stand on homosexuals in the military, the senator said, quote, "I cannot imagine a more basic conservative position than to believe in individual responsibility and individual freedom." Cora.
And John, how is President Clinton doing so far? Well, according to a USA Today CNN poll, 58% of those asked approve of the way he is doing his job. It is below the historical average of 65% for presidents in their first weeks, but it is higher than for the two presidents before him. However, Mr. Clinton's disapproval rating is 20%, and that is the highest for any new president in 40 years. And as President Clinton ended day 8 in the Oval Office, a federal judge ruled on an issue that some say is using up the president's political capital, gays in the military. A judge in Los Angeles said tonight that banning homosexuals from the service just because of their sexual orientation is unconstitutional. And tonight, Senate Democrats came up with an agreement on ending the ban. Niles Latham reports.
Since opening a Pandora's box over ending the military's ban on homosexuals, President Clinton has been looking for ways to calm the national firestorm while trying hard not to appear to be caving in.
People should be disqualified from serving in the military based on something they do, not based on who they are.
After a week of tense negotiations, Senate Democrats tonight went to the White House with a way out. A compromise: there will be a 6-month delay in lifting the ban while hearings are held on the issue. In return, military commanders will have the right to transfer but not expel homosexuals from their units during that time period.
We made some progress towards reaching a conclusion on this matter, and it's my understanding that the president hopes to make a statement sometime tomorrow.
But still, Clinton appeared to be on a collision course with the Republicans, who are vowing a floor fight.
What I would suggest is to just have a timeout.
If the president's going ahead, we are going ahead.
The controversy has interest groups tying up phone lines in the Capitol, and Democrats bracing for a fight they didn't want. Clinton's handling of the issue has added to the impression of disarray and has distracted him from his promised focus on the economy.
I would hope that he will be able to prioritize the things that need to be done and move quickly and surely to those things that demand attention now.
Sources say Clinton's already embattled White House staff has been holding a series of crisis meetings with veterans of the Clinton campaign. They're seeking advice on how to regain the political offensive after what they admit was a rocky first week. Niles Latham, Fox News at the White House.
Immigration officials were serious when they said they were going to investigate the couple that used to work for Zoe Baird. They were illegal aliens, and as you know, that cost her the job of Attorney General. The husband, Victor Cordero, is already back in Peru. Immigration officials called Lillian Cordero in this week, and she agreed to go back home on her own. The Corderos won't be with each other in Peru. Their divorce became final this week.
Crime in our streets. The figures show things are getting better. But do you feel safer? At issue tonight is the mayor's Safe Streets, Safe City program. It began 3 years ago, but Frank Grimes tells us tonight there still are many unanswered questions.
Are our streets safer? You wouldn't think so if you witnessed what a Fox News crew caught on camera tonight. Robbery suspects arrested moments after their alleged crime. The issue tonight, the mayor's Safe Streets, Safe City program. One of the main goals of the mayor's plan, which was announced in October of 1990, was to hire civilians to replace cops who worked inside, so those cops could be put on the street where they are most needed.
Our war against fear will return peace to our communities, leaving us with safe streets in a safe city.
The plan, which was announced with much fanfare, involved the state legislature. They had to approve the raising of taxes needed to finance the plan's programs. But legislators approved the plan because they believe people are willing to pay more taxes if they will end up with safer streets. But to date, the city is behind in its goals of hiring civilians to replace cops in certain assignments, which means there are fewer cops on the street than there could be. At least 620 cops are still doing work that should have been taken over by civilians. It turns out that $16 million of the $40 million budgeted for hiring more civilians has been spent on other things. Sheldon Leffler, chairman of the City Council's Public Safety Commission, considers the delay in hiring more civilians an example of mismanagement of the police department.
The public's main priority is security, safety, public safety. One way to get this is through putting police on the streets via civilianization.
The cry came in 1990, Dave, do something. Well, we did something. We got a safer city, safer than it's been in 7 major categories, than it's been in 36 years.
But no matter what the statistics say, it's people's perceptions that count. They say crime is down, but do you feel safer?
I think New York has felt safer to me. That's just my perception.
I don't feel safer. My perception is it's as rampant as ever.
It is our perceptions, after all, that guide us, not statistics. Frank Grimes, Fox News.
Still ahead, a tribute to the astronauts of the Space Shuttle Challenger.
Also, some news about the economy you probably will want to hear.
Before you see it anywhere, you see it on A Current Affair. And now New York can watch A Current Affair at a new time, 7 p.m. Always on the edge, the show that never backs down from a story is moving a half hour earlier. This is television you thought you'd never see. Stories you won't forget. A Current Affair is extraordinary television. Beginning Monday, watch A Current Affair at its new time, weeknights at 7, followed by Inside Edition at 7:30, only on Fox 5 New York.
You may buy an extended warranty from your dealer, but you don't have to go back there if you've got transmission trouble. Your local AMCO center is authorized by most extended warranty companies to do the work. Why? They've got a lot at stake, and they know that half the cars serviced by AMCO wind up not needing a new transmission. Whether or not your car has an extended warranty, for prompt, reliable service, go where most warranty companies put their trust. Go to AMCO. AMCO, AA-MCO.
Think summer now and save. It's Harrow's annual swimming pool clearance sale. Your one chance to get the guaranteed lowest prices of the year on all clearance models. Save up to 65% off these top brand name pools. For example, buy a 24-foot pool for just $349. These are the largest savings in swimming pool and patio furniture history, with up to 65% off all clearance model outdoor furniture and barbecue grills. Don't miss the huge swimming pool and patio furniture clearance sale on now through Monday only at Harrow's.
I was on my way to my new accountant.
These are all taxable investments.
I knew I'd pay taxes on my salary, but my investment income?
He's not going to like the news.
What do we got? Good news is that we have some great ideas for next year.
Next year.
Start now to let Fidelity Investments, America's largest mutual fund company, help you earn income 100% free from federal taxes. In many states, free from state taxes, with no sales charge. Call for this free guide to tax-free investing. Call 1-800-992-9595.
Tonight's business report brought to you by Lincoln Mercury, maker of Mercury Tracer.
Ever notice how everyone has something to say when it's time to choose the new ride?
Get something comfortable with some room to it.
Drive a hard bargain. Don't pay a cent for air conditioning.
And make them throw an automatic, too.
It's gotta have a serious sound system.
Girl, you got to look good.
Honey, one thing. Get what you want.
The 1993 Mercury Tracer. They'll all think you listen to them. All this is the quality of a Mercury.
The Howard University Choir sang one of Thurgood Marshall's favorite hymns, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Thousands jammed the National Cathedral for Justice Marshall's funeral. He died Sunday. He was 84. President Clinton was there. The 9 current Supreme Court justices and the 3 retired members served as honorary pallbearers. Chief Justice William Rehnquist said that Justice Marshall left an indelible mark, not just upon the law, but also upon his country.
7 years ago today, the Space Shuttle Challenger's flight ended in tragedy. The 7 people on board died, including schoolteacher Krista McAuliffe. While flags were at half-mast at the Kennedy Space Center, flowers were placed at the Astronaut Memorial. On the first 5 anniversaries, NASA workers observed 73 seconds of silence, the total flight time before the accident.
Wall Street had a pretty good day thanks to some good economic news. More on that in just a moment. The Dow closed up almost 15 points. A few more winners than losing stocks on the big board. The price per share was up 3 cents. Over on the Amex, the price per share was up a penny. The index there was up 1/3 of a point. The NASDAQ composite went the other way. It was down 3 points. I mentioned there was some good news that helped Wall Street. That's the focus of our Fox Business News report.
$7.99. Marlene.
During the fourth quarter last year, we had our best Christmas shopping season in 5 years. Construction of new homes soared and industrial production rose sharply. The end result? Our economy grew nearly 4% from October through December, the best quarterly performance in 4 years. But there are still major problems on the job front.
We've got to find some way to create jobs if we are to keep this recovery sustained.
Just this week, Sears, Pratt & Whitney, and Boeing announced nearly 100,000 layoffs. And President Clinton had that in mind when he spoke to reporters.
There's a lot of response to the efforts we're making now, but it's also a lot of troubling news about lost jobs. We've got a lot of work to do.
The administration needs to break the vicious cycle of downsizing leading to reduced income and confidence and spending and sales and more downsizing by injecting just enough money into the economy to cause companies to want to add to their payrolls.
But not all of corporate America is swimming in red ink. Chrysler's back in the black. Last year, the #3 car maker made nearly $730 million. Their share of the car market also climbed, up 1%. AT&T also dialed up major profits last year. The long-distance carrier earned nearly $4 billion for the year, 18% more than the year before. And Coca-Cola's earnings were up almost 10%, thanks to strong holiday sales. And finally, Anheuser-Busch is looking to Moscow to keep their profits rising. This week, Budweiser went on sale all over Russia. And that's the Fox Business News for Thursday, January 28th.
Well, tomorrow night, Publishers Clearinghouse will announce the winner of this year's sweepstakes worth $10 million on nationwide TV. But the New York Attorney General's office says some people may be tricked into buying magazine subscriptions. Robert Abrams is investigating the company for possible illegal and deceptive practices. Well, you don't have to buy anything to win the contest. You just have to be really lucky to beat out some 100 million other contestants. The company says it's not breaking any laws.
Well, coming up, I'll tell you why Andrew Lloyd Webber thinks Madonna is over the hill.
Some New York City students are sneaking into school across the Hudson. And then Robin talks with Rosie Perez about her new movie with Christian Slater. We'll be right back.
And also some news that hit Japan like a tidal wave.
MCI's Friends Around the World has been the lowest priced international call you can make to any one number to over 200 places around the world. Now MCI announces an extra 20% savings to 2 numbers. They'll be the lowest priced international calls you can make. Call MCI. Over the years, using us to call outside the country could save you hundreds upon hundreds of dollars.
Everyone has grown up with something from Hasbro, the world's largest toy company. And who has Hasbro grown up with? The American Stock Exchange, the business behind the business.
Yeah.
Hey, I've had it.
Well, what do you suggest?
Let's get out of here. Let's go back. Remember?
Yes, I remember. Okay, let's go.
I'll pick you up.
I'll be ready.
This is great. We'll be there in no time.
Vermont, so good, so close.
This portion of the news brought to you by your Cadillac Tri-Statesman, Cadillac dealers of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
When the New York Stock Exchange goes into action tomorrow morning, they'll be looking for stocks with high upside potential and little downside risk. And the same goes for leasing an automobile. There's a especially persuasive case right now for a 1993 Cadillac DeVille. The monthly payments are modest, very modest for a lease this short. Talk to your Cadillac Tri-Statesman soon. The essence of smart trading is knowing when to act.
Announces the arrival of
Roy's Roasters. Honey-basted, slow-roasted chicken that will leave you speechless. It's so good. New Roy's Roasters. A one-of-a-kind place for a one-of-a-kind taste.
Let me just take a minute to update our top stories for you, and then Carl and Phil will preview the sports and the weather. Some gruesome testimony in a courtroom in Manhattan. Rosa Rodriguez told what happened when she went to Dr. Abu Hayat for an abortion. She was 8 months pregnant. She said she was in agony, but he did not give her any anesthesia. Told her not to tell anyone. Later on, she gave birth. Her baby was missing an arm. Senator D'Amato told us that he's not going to run for governor. He also defended his support for allowing homosexuals in the military. He said it's a question of individual freedom. In the meantime, a federal judge back in L.A. struck down the military's ban on homosexuals. He said it's unconstitutional, and he said there is no proof that homosexuals are unfit for service. Carl.
John, in sports tonight, we're going to be wondering, when will the real Knicks stand up? The Atlanta Hawks are in town to help answer that question. The final round is set for the Ladies Open at the Australian Open, and we'll show you the latest McDonald's commercial featuring Michael Jordan and his pal, Larry Bird. 2 all-beef patties and plenty of sports coming up. Phil?
Thanks, Carl. We had a few flurries today, and really nothing that amounted to all that much, but you can see there is some light snow up toward Manchester and New Hampshire, nothing heading our way. However, there was some heavy snow earlier today in Central Park, and we have video of that, Cora, and we'll show you that a little bit later in the show.
Thank you very much, Phil. Well, a new kind of border war is brewing between New York and New Jersey. It's a lesson in learning and where students are doing it. Rosanna Scotto reports.
Some New York City students have found a way to get a better education, cross the state line, and attend New Jersey's public schools. The only catch is you may get caught. The non-resident students use friends' and relatives' addresses as an entree into the district.
I know a lot of people who live in New York City that go to Burgess High School.
Why do they come here?
Well, because basically their parents don't want them over in, public schools in New York.
Some schools have offered a $100 bounty for tips about students who don't live in the district. Others, like Bergenfield, investigate.
Well, we did remove 22 that we were able to find. We're still looking. We suspect that might be a few more. We're doing things like watching buses from the city to see who gets off them, try to identify the students that come off them, and basically that's what we're doing.
The superintendent of the Bergenfield School District believes the reason for this New York invasion has to do with safety, especially for parents who can't afford private schools. Some New York City high schools have been plagued with violence, students shooting teachers, students shooting or knifing each other.
We have no guns or weapons at all in these buildings.
Do you have any of those detectors in any of the high schools?
No need for them. We have no need for them whatsoever. We do not even have security guards.
A spokesman for New York City's Board of Education says they have no way of tracking this problem. They have enough to worry about: seriously overcrowded high schools.
The thing is that everyone who lives in this town pays taxes for people to come from another town to go to school here. So the people who live in this town are paying for other people to come to the school.
The bottom line is those students who don't live here cost the district money. So to discourage this trend, a number of superintendents here in New Jersey are asking the Board of Education for permission to go after the student's family for a $7,800 tuition reimbursement. From New Jersey, Rosanna Scotto, Fox News.
Prime Minister of Britain is going after the press. He is suing 2 magazines for libel. They wrote stories about an old rumor that was going around that he had had an affair. The woman mentioned in the articles is suing too. One magazine, The New Statesman, said it never meant to imply the rumor was true, but the other is called The Scallywag, and it says that they've got something up their sleeve on this story, and they are waiting for the right moment to show their cards. Coming up next, a guy in the music world who is no fan of Madonna's.
Also the news that has stunned Japan. We'll tell you all about it when we come back.
One magazine speaks to the sailing world. Learn how to maneuver small boats in tight quarters and large ones where inches count. Read about major regattas like the America's Cup and the latest developments in professional sailing. Ready? If you want to improve your sailing performance, you should read Sailing World too.
Call 800-225-6400. Subscribe now and get 12 issues of Sailing World for only $12. Order now.
Camry, don't you love it? Are you kidding? I got a great deal. I'm so excited.
It's Toyota's first big sale
sales event of the new year. And the deals on Camry are something to get excited about. Right now, you can drive a new Camry for less than you thought. Now that's exciting. There's never been a better time to get excited. So hurry to your Toyota dealer now during the first big sales event of the new year.
I'm a freelance sports writer. Since I'm constantly under deadline, I don't have a lot of time to mess around doing errands. So I run the business out of a mail, boxes, etc. I get a business address, a place to get my mail 24 hours a day. Plus I can fax, make copies, and send stuff out. It saves me a lot of time, and that's important. Because I got research to do.
Over 130 locations in the tri-state area. Consult your telephone directory for the location nearest you.
New York Saints lacrosse.
Hey, can they do that?
Slashing.
All right.
Boarding.
Is that legal?
Cross-checking.
No way.
All the action is back. Coors Light and Major Indoor Lacrosse present the New York Saints versus the Baltimore Thunder. Game 2 is 8 o'clock tomorrow night at Nassau Coliseum. Saints tickets start at just $10. The Saints are sharp shooting and high scoring. Saints lacrosse. For more action, you'd have to join the team. Face mask and gloves not included.
Well, the scandals involving the royals in England isn't playing in Japan. All eyes are on another breakup that you may not know about. Amy Atkins has the story for you in Fox Style News.
In the land of the rising sun, the sun set on a most public engagement, and Japan is reeling. It's a breakup as big as Charles and Di. Sumo superstar Taka Hanada and actress Rei Miyazawa have split.
I was very surprised and shocked because I was very interested in that news, like everybody else in Japan.
I feel sorry for him.
She doesn't say I still love him, but I feel it. I know that she still loves him.
The evening news in Japan devoted nearly 20 minutes of live coverage to the event. Japanese TV in America is in a media frenzy too. So why is this such a big deal? To put it in American perspective,
it might be that Madonna is going to marry Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan, or Grace Kelly was going to be married with the King of Monaco.
As Taka Hanada and Miyazawa bid each other sayonara, Japan bids farewell to its super couple.
Maybe they're a little too young to get married.
It was rumored that it's because of Ria's mother, but we're not sure about the truth.
And the sumo-sized scandal isn't over yet. Amy Atkins, Fox Style News.
Even a pop superstar like Madonna does not always get what she wants. The Material Girl wanted to star in the movie version of Evita for years. But now Evita composer Andrew Lloyd Webber says she's too old at 34 years old. Madonna's new movie, Body of Evidence, did not help her cause. You see, Webber said it was dreadful. And they may sound like an odd couple, but most critics say it's a winning duo. The Joffrey Ballet and rock star Prince are teaming up for this 2-hour production entitled Billboards. Prince wrote the score for the show, which premiered last night in Iowa City, Iowa. And critics say the show reaches out to a new audience.
And still ahead, even Sony wants David Letterman to stay in New York. Phil's forecast.
An emotional moment at the Garden, and it had nothing to do with basketball.
The real advantages of Acclaim from Chrysler Plymouth include all this room for 6 passengers, plus about $1,500 worth of options like these, at no extra charge for about $12,100. Now that's sure to make 6 people very happy. Acclaim from Chrysler Plymouth at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer, where real advantages make a real difference.
Honey, what are you
want to do tonight?
Well, a drive sounds great.
Drive? Oh, you mean go to the movies?
Something with more action.
Action? You want to go to a show?
Well, I was thinking...
A hit show, that's it.
Something that has more suspense.
You're really making this difficult.
No, it's going to be exciting.
Exciting. Tell me, come on, tell me, be a sport.
The Meadowlands. It's the best of everything. Make a night of it.
I won!
Tonight's weather report brought to you by Siemens Furniture. For the way to a beautiful home, see Siemens first. And by the new Dodge. See your nearby Team Dodge dealer.
It's the one you've been waiting for. A must-see. 3 thumbs up. And now you have the best seats in the house at Siemens Wild Weekend. Nothing is being held back. You'll find wildly reduced prices on every item in every Siemens store. And use your Wild coupons for extra savings of $25 to $200 off the low sale prices. Get your coupons in tomorrow's paper or at any Siemens store. So see Siemens first. If you go to one sale this year, make it Siemens Wild Weekend. It starts tomorrow at a Siemens near you.
Anything it takes. During the Dodge January clearance, we'll do anything it takes. Starting with $500 cash back on Shadow ES. No, $750. Okay, $1,000. Anything it takes. A Gold Key Plus payment of $300 a month on this Caravan. What the heck? As low as $199 a month. Plus immediate delivery on the spot financing, low down payment. Anything. At the Dodge January clearance. Anything it takes.
Dave is right in the middle of a real tug-of-war, New York against L.A. Although that hardly seems like a real tug-of-war. Anyway, Sony operates that big television screen in Times Square, and they put up their top 10 list of reasons why he should stay right here when he switches to CBS. Reason number 10, Velcro is made here. Reason number 9, free parking space at Black Rock. Reason number 8, can't get good bagels in L.A. Reason number 7, post office won't forward viewer mail. Number 6, the only culture in L.A. is yogurt. Reason number 5, Dave can play a video game on this screen. Number 4, tax breaks. Number 3, Paul Schaefer's too cool for L.A. Reason number 2, we'll guard Dave's house in Connecticut. And the number 1 reason why David Letterman should stay in New York, more stupid pets in New York. Now, yesterday, the Parks Commissioner, Betsy Gottbaum, promised him a better field for his softball team if he stays. I mean, what more do you want, Dave? Should we take up a collection for you here? Stay in New York.
I think he's got a multi-million-dollar contract. Doesn't need the money.
Yeah, stay in there. Well, I mean, I don't know what he wants.
Phil Schwartz joins us now with a forecast and something else New Yorkers love, a little bit of snow in Central Park. And I understand we got a little help with that snow today, Phil.
Yeah, it was man-made, unfortunately. We had a few flurries, but that was about it. Out at Central Park, some heavy snow was being made. And this is part of the Herman's second annual New York City Winter Festival. They're making snow out there tonight. They'll be making snow again tomorrow. And if you want to head out there during the day on Saturday, they're going to have cross-country skiing, downhill ski demonstrations, some inline skating. Matter of fact, a fitness expo. So a lot going on in Central Park if you want to head down there. And that will be during the day on Saturday. Outside today, it was actually a fairly mild day. Once we got later in the afternoon, kind of chilly this morning. The high, 38, our current temperature, and it will probably rise throughout the rest of the night. I think by morning we'll be into the 40s. Low, 27, extreme 66 for a record high, 2 below for a record low, and that was set back in 1925. Right now, with that temperature of 38 degrees, our winds are out of the south at 8 miles per hour as a warm front is moving toward the area, and the barometric pressure is falling from 29.98 inches. Now, you can see that frontal boundary very nicely on our satellite view. As the system moves out of the Great Lakes, it's pulling warmer air northward. As that warm air went over the cold air we had at the surface, that produced a few flurries, and it could produce a little bit of sprinkle activity yet tonight. But you notice this area right here, that's the leading edge of some colder air, and that's going to move through here during the day tomorrow. So we'll start out in the 40s, but by this time tomorrow night, we'll be back down into the 20s. So some sharply colder air will arrive tomorrow. Could see a passing flurry again during the day tomorrow, but no accumulation is expected. You can see that storm system up to the north. That could bring some more significant snows to sections of, well, say, northern New York and up into New Hampshire and Vermont. The nastiest weather, that will be down here in Texas, where they're going to see plenty of rain and plenty of sunshine for the Ohio River Valley. Now, what's really interesting in the weather, at least if you're a meteorologist, it's interesting, is a very fast jet stream moving right across the area. To the south and west of that, a January thaw. Temperatures will be in the 40s this weekend, as close to us as sections of Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, and even southwest PA. We're going to be on the cold side of that jet stream with the really cold stuff staying over New England, but I think highs Saturday probably not even getting above freezing. And look at this, lows Friday night down into the teens. Some cold air is heading our way. Our forecast then for the rest of tonight calls for maybe a passing rain or snow shower. We've seen our low temperatures will actually rise through the rest of the night. During the day tomorrow, maybe a flurry, especially early. Other than that, a gradual cooling trend. Extended outlook, looking ahead for the next 5 days, calls for temperatures chilly through the weekend with a bit of a warm-up early next week. So no major snows on our way, though I do think we could possibly see some light snow along about Saturday night. John?
All right, thanks, Phil. A breaking story happening right now and a dramatic ending in what appeared to be a kidnapping in Queens. George Smith has been following the story all evening. He's standing by for you right now in Jackson Heights. George.
Well, John, earlier tonight, Bing Zhang, a store owner here at the Chinese cooking restaurant, was apparently abducted by some suspected Asian gang members. At about 4:15, 4 men walked into this store here and yanked him out, apparently demanding money, and then they disappeared. Police had no idea where he was. They apparently had some contact with those suspected gang members, but they were not able to get Mr. Zhang back. Now, they had asked the media, I should mention, earlier tonight not to report this story because they had no idea if he would be safe or not. Well, we can tell you he is safe. Just a few minutes ago, Mr. Zhang walked up to us, and this is what he had to say.
They want some money, and they take me go Chinatown.
Did they hit you or threaten you?
Yeah.
What did they do to you?
They hate me, that's it.
When did they let you go?
Just about like 2 hours ready, something like that.
Do the police know you're out?
No.
Have you called the police yet, or?
I don't know. I don't know who called police.
Now, as you just heard, Mr. Zhang, the police apparently do not know that Mr. Zhang is all right. He literally just walked up to us over here about 5 minutes ago. He apparently had been asked for some money and may have been beaten up by these suspected Asian gang members. We hope to have more details for you later on tonight or else early tomorrow. That's the latest from here. Reporting from Queens, I'm George Smith. Now let's go back to the studio.
All right, George. If you saw the movie White Men Can't Jump, and if you didn't, you should, not only because it's a terrific movie, but because there's a woman in it by the name of Rosie Perez who is dynamite.
A real scene stealer, isn't she, John? And you know, White Men Can't Jump gave Brooklyn-born Rosie Perez the biggest break of her acting career when this Hispanic actress was cast in a role originally written as a Caucasian character with an Ivy League education. And she makes even more progress in her latest film. She's got a supporting role opposite Christian Slater. And Rosie says it's the first movie in which she gets to keep all of her clothes on.
You told USA Today about this film, and I quote, "For once, I don't have to stick my naked butt up in the air. God bless America." This requested of you often, Rosie?
I don't, yes, and I don't know why. I don't have like this wonderful, gorgeous body. You know, I have like a ghetto booty. I mean, it's big, you know. I'm short, you know. I mean, okay, well, I have big breasts, but, you know, I mean, everything else is like, why? Why? I don't get it, you know. Every time they ask me to do a film and there's a nude scene, I'm like going like, 1, 2, 3. You know, starving myself.
He's kind of cute. In Untamed Heart, Rosie Perez may be spared a striptease, but she gets to add yet another sassy character to her screen resume as the smart-talking waitress in this unconventional love story starring Marissa Tomei and heartthrob Christian Slater.
Don't call him. She said, "I like playing Cindy, but I don't like her."
Yes.
Why not?
Because Cindy's a bitch. She really is.
Nothing like you.
No, I'm really not. I'm not the type of person to tell you how to run your life. When it comes to business, all right, then I'm a bitch. You know, I'm very opinionated, and I know everything, you know, when I really don't.
In fact, Rosie never even started out to be an actress. This former Soul Train dancer only hit the big screen in 1989 after Spike Lee discovered her in a club and cast her in Do the Right Thing.
You have no formal training. Does that ever scare you?
It scares me all the time. It really does. I told Marissa and Christian, you know, I was on the film, I was like, all right, I'm not a pro. And so Christian was like, well, and I go, yeah, well, you had cuffs. Anyway, no, I'm kidding, Christian.
is an original. By the way, Rosie says dating has been a bit of a disaster ever since she hit it big, since guys somehow expect her to turn up just like the cocky character she plays on screen. Untamed Heart opens February 12th. John.
All righty, thank you, Robin. Coming up next, Carl's got sports for you.
Some very special guests at the NBA games at the Garden and in Houston. We'll be right back.
I'm no pushover. I don't jump every time somebody screams sale. I mean, even though I need a new car, I'm waiting for the right deal. So when I come down there, you better be ready for me. Because when you say now is the right time, it better not just be balloons and confetti. So, what do you got?
Lease a Nissan Maxima or Pathfinder for just $269 a month till February 2nd.
This Saturday, January 30th, it's the one and only one-day sale at Nobody Beats the Whiz. Absolutely every item in every Nobody Beats the Whiz store is marked down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Every TV, VCR, camcorder, and audio components. Every cassette, compact disc, personal computer, cellular phone, and camera. Everything. And here's the Nobody Beats the Whiz challenge. If it's not on sale Saturday, it's yours free. This Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., our one and only one-day sale. Nobody beats the Whiz.
The American Express card is valued by vacationers worldwide because it opens the door to the world's best resorts, like Florida's fabulous Boca Raton Resort and Club. For American Express card members, it's one of the nicest places in the tropics to play, or to wine, dine, and be pampered. So call today and use the American Express card to pay for your stay at the Boca, the elegant place to play.
Tonight's sports report brought to you by Sharp Electronics Corporation. From sharp minds come sharp products. And Lincoln Mercury, maker of Mercury Tracer.
Bill Walsh for Sharp.
In sports, you'd better know where your X's and O's are. It's no different in business. You need a game plan. And Sharp's got winning game plans for your business. A booklet that'll help you find the right copier, like Sharp's high-volume duplicating system. It's going to increase your productivity and reduce your operating expenses. And how Sharp, the #1 fax company, can show you a plain paper laser fax with the lowest cost per copy in the industry. So call 1-800-BE-SHARP for your winning game plan. Believe me, nothing beats winning.
The all-new 1993 Lincoln Mark 8. 4 cams, 32 valves, 280 horses. Mark 8, together with Lincoln Town Car and Continental, make Lincoln the only domestic car line to offer dual airbags and 4-wheel ABS brakes, standard on every 93 model. And when you consider how easy it is to lease a Lincoln right now, it all adds up to this. You simply have to have it. Mark 8, Town Car, Continental, at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Just was noticing, how do you know that your nose is all like red, like maybe like you've been holding it or something? You might want to check that.
Things kind of stunk tonight.
Where did they?
I tell you, where do you get these?
Where did they stink?
It is a little red. They stunk over at the Garden, John, and we're talking
Garden.
about the Knicks. I mean, it was bad. You could smell it in here. The fans, though, still had a lot to cheer about in the early going, and believe it or not, it had nothing to do with basketball. Take a look. In a word, it was all about courage. That's Dennis Byrd. And what a great sight this is. The Jets defensive lineman in one of his first appearances in public since being paralyzed last year. Byrd, who took his first step in rehab last week, is doing just fine. As for the Knicks, well, they weren't doing quite as well. The Hawks dominated early, led by 21. Willis got the slam. Knicks then made a run late. Hubert Davis with the jumper in the lane. That cut it to 3, 107-105. But Pat Riley's going to have a lot to talk about tomorrow. The Knicks lost 110-105, and they lost ugly. Familiar face at the Summit in Houston, Rockets against the Bulls, and there he is, George Bush, the former president, in town to see Michael Jordan. And I think that's maybe George's first public appearance since the Clintons moved into the White House. Well, he's probably glad he showed up at the game tonight. Maybe the Rockets were inspired. They beat the Bulls tonight, 94-83. At the Summit. Nets in Denver against the Nuggets. This one's still going on. Denver 74-62 in the third. Nets have lost forward Jason Williams 8 to 10 weeks. He's going to be out. He broke his leg lifting weights at home. And local college game, St. Joe's 76-55 over Hofstra.
Both teams practice at the Super Bowl today. Bad day for tight end Derek Tennell of the Cowboys. Los Angeles district attorney, issued a warrant for his arrest today. The DA claims that Tennell owes $30,000 plus interest after allegedly failing to pay child support. Meanwhile, Buffalo's Thurman Thomas, who forgot his helmet last year's Super Bowl, had a little surprise for the members of the media today.
I'd like to pass out a little item, a very popular item from Super Bowl 26 that I want you guys to keep until after the game, from now until after the game. And if you lose this, I'm telling you, it's going to cause you a lot of problems, okay? I'm a brilliant, intelligent young football player. I'm not stupid, you know?
That's a little tiny Buffalo helmet.
That would probably fit most of the sports journalists who were there, too, don't you think?
All right, from the NHL, Brian Leach is out of the All-Star game. Rangers defenseman Kevin Lowe has been announced as his replacement today. Rangers have it out today. North Stars 4-2 over the Devils. That's a final. And the Islanders on the road against first-place Penguins. Benoit Hogue makes it 2-1 Islanders. The Islanders go on to the 5-2 win, a big win over Pittsburgh tonight as the Islanders continue to charge on Patrick. Sports Quickies. Men's semifinals have been set at the Australian Open. Courier against Stich and Edberg against Sampras. On the ladies' side, Monica Seles will get Steffi Graf in the finals. Monica, the top seed at the top of your screen with a 6-1, 6-2 straight set win over Aranxa Sanchez-Vaccaro. Pitchers and catchers don't report for 2 weeks, so what is Mets outfielder Vince Coleman doing out in Arizona these days? Well, it looks painful. Vince is experimenting with a new technique using the martial arts form of Taekwondo. He wants to avoid the pitfalls of pulling muscles this year. And, of course, Vince had a lot of that last year. Finally tonight, we thought we'd give you a sneak preview of the Jordan Larry Bird McDonald's commercial. The premise here is that a bet was made, and the first one to miss a shot has to take the other to a McDonald's.
Scoreboard, off the bank board, no rim.
Over the second rafter. There was more. They got farther and farther away. They were outside the gym, and he bounced it through a window, and it went in, of course. That's
all right, thanks very much, Carl. That's our report for tonight. I'm John Roland.
And I'm Cora. I'm Mihalik. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 10.
See you then. Thanks for being with us. Good night.
Good night.
Absolutely. Dual airbags, wood trim, mandatory. Gotta have a CD player and power sunroof. But on most luxury sedans, these features cost extra. Not the Infiniti J30. They're all standard. See, Infiniti thinks when you buy a luxury car, luxury shouldn't be optional.
To lease a fully equipped J30 for just $399 a month, see your Infiniti dealer now.
Buy an international business class seat, and that's what you get. So what's the difference? Continental's new Business First. With the room and comfort of a true sleeper seat. The luxury of international first class, but at a business class fare. Continental's Business First. The business class to Europe that's truly first class. That's the difference.
Something extraordinary is happening at Mazda. A line of distinctive sedans brings new choices in luxury, performance, and value with the Mazda Protégé. Now get all the features you want without compromising your budget. With savings on the Protégé, Mazda's on the move. And your Mazda dealer is leading the way.